Hi y'all, Tracy, Trouser Blonde-haired girl here. We are here for a Tag Tuesday. I hope that y'all are enjoying this. I'm really enjoying putting these out, finding the questions and tagging people. It's fun for me, and hopefully y'all are enjoying it. This week I am tagging, of course, Robbie over at FrekiFitWolf, and then I am also tagging Danielle Nichole. She was gracious enough to agree to do this with me, so I'm going to, and I'm also going to tag Kim over at A Girl and Her Phone, because why not? Okay. Food questions. That is going to be our topic this week. What did you eat for dinner last night? Okay, because this is going up tomorrow. I'm going to tell you what I ate last night and then what I'm going to eat tonight. Neither of which are really great and on plan, but it's what I wanted. Last night I fixed some Velveeta and chili dip and had it with some Frito scoops. Tonight we are having cheeseburger and tot casserole. If you could make one food calorie-free for the next year, what would you choose? Oh, that could be hard. Ice cream, I think. I think it would have to be ice cream. How often do you go to the grocery store? Well, to be quite honest, even before all of this happened, we typically went to the grocery store, like to the actual grocery store, once a week. And then Costco, excuse me, Costco got to be an almost once a week thing. So if you're counting Costco and the grocery store, I would probably say, twice. But generally speaking, we would go on Saturdays after I've made a meal plan and we know what we're having. Do you make a list before buying groceries? There was a time that I did not, and that got me in some serious budget trouble. So yes, I make a list before I go to the grocery store. Sometimes I go off list, sometimes I buy things that are not on the list, but for the most part I really try to stick with the list. And I will say that when I'm doing grocery pickup, that definitely keeps me from doing the impulse buys. List 3 things that can always be found in your kitchen. Peanut butter, yogurt, and milk. How often do you clean out your fridge? Probably not nearly often enough. We try to take things out when we find them. We don't always do like a dedicated clean out your fridge time, but maybe we need to institute that. Do you ever use a slow cooker, and if so, will you share a recipe? I love my slow cooker. I love my slow cooker. I currently have, well, if you count the small ones, I have 4. One of them is out of commission because my crock broke. The other one I really need to replace because the crock is cracked. But then I also have the one that my mother had for years, which is a smaller, like a 4-quart stand-up crock. And then I have my casserole crock and like a 6-quart oval, and then I have like a small warmer that I've done, like I've warmed chocolate and stuff like that in it. Well, and then my husband and I each have a lunch crock, but those do not cook, they just warm. One of my favorite recipes, super simple. Take a whole chicken, like, you know, a roaster chicken or fryer chicken. I think they call them fryer chickens. Clean it out. Yes, I am one of those weird people. I run my chicken, run water through my chicken. This recipe is so simple, and initially, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I cooked it, it scared me a little bit, because you put nothing in there with your chicken. Like, you season your chicken. We have like put onions and garlic for seasoning. We've done lemon pepper. We've done the original recipe just called for paprika, so we've done that. We've done it with the everything but the bagel seasoning. We've just done salt and pepper and put some garlic and onions in there. But basically nothing else. You don't put broth, you don't put water, nothing else. You just put it in the crock pot. Let it cook for 8 hours. And about hour 5 or 6, it starts producing the juice, and like your crock pot and your the chicken pretty much falls apart when you try to pull it out of the crock pot, and it's so moist and tender. It is one of the easiest ways for us to cook chicken. I've done it, but most of the time my husband actually does it. We debone the chicken, put the skin and the bones either directly back in the crock pot, or we'll put it in the freezer to save it for when we're ready to make broth, and we will use the bones to make a bone broth, which that's one of my favorite things to do as well. How often do you try new recipes? I would say, generally speaking, I try a couple a month. Sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it's less than that. It just kind of depends, because, you know, sometimes you just crave a classic. Like, you know, my mother's cornbread, her recipe, I don't change that. I don't tinker with that. Some of the other recipes, like the cornbread dressing that I make at Thanksgiving usually, or at Christmas, I don't mess with that. As my mama used to say, why mess with perfection? So I don't mess with those things. But I will periodically just, you know, fly by the seat of my pants and get creative making something. What is the most delicious meal or meals that you make? Huh. I don't know. I would have to ask my family. Honey.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most delicious meal that I make?
I really don't know.
Well, there you have it. They always eat what I cook, but nobody knows.
I bet you that the others would nominate Lazy Man lasagna.
Yeah, my daughter is a big fan of the Lazy Man lasagna. She does like the Lazy Man lasagna. I think That is a newer favorite. But yeah, I think everybody enjoys that when we make it. My daughter also likes the chicken pot pie, which, I was going to try to make this week. That may be added to next week's meal plan. Cheeseburger and hot casserole, which I'm making right now. It's kind of hard to say. We've got quite a few things that various family members really like. Although if I'm making macaroni and cheese, everybody comes to the table. Share at least one thing that is currently in your kitchen, even though you don't like it. Well, it's not in my kitchen anymore because they ate it all. Um, Probably the Lay's dill pickle chips. My husband and my daughter love those. Well, I can't even say I don't like it because I've not had them. I refuse to try because if they're addictive, like my husband says that they are,
You're amazing.
then I may get in trouble. And
Good.
why would I want to do that to myself?
That'd be bad.
It's really the only thing I can think of because most of what's in my kitchen is stuff that we all eat on, or we all use to put. Well, I use to put in a recipe, or my husband does. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm really not sure about that. Um, Again, nominating Kim over at A Girl and Her Phone, Robbie at FrekiFitWolf, excuse me, and Nichole. Danielle at Danielle Nichole. Hopefully y'all will enjoy everybody's answers. I look forward to hearing everybody's answers as well. Um, and I'll see what new person we can tag next week. Have a great night, y'all.